Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another unboxing and review. And here it is, the K025. This is one of their wireless solutions, as I previously said. And setting up is pretty straightforward. All you need is a couple of AA batteries for this, a couple of AAA batteries for the receiver, and once you've plugged it into something like an amp or a audio interface, like in my case, that's pretty much it. What you turn it on and it should sync up. If it doesn't, there are plenty of instructions in the box to say how to get that set up. One thing that you do also need to do, of course, is extend this little antenna, but I'll come back to that later on in the review. So some of you may have noticed it is quite a bit larger than something like the last microphone I did, which was their K8 solution. Now, this was obviously a wired solution and it's a lot more compact, because I suspect the reason this one is so much bigger is for all the wireless connectivity inside of it. The other thing about this microphone, which differs quite a bit from the K8, is it's got a plastic body. Now, I'm not a huge fan of this myself. I quite like the premium feel of this, but I suspect the reason they couldn't do the same for the K025 was for connectivity reasons. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't feel cheap in the hand whatsoever, and it doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart either. Unless, of course, you're about to drop it off a building, in which case then, yeah, probably wouldn't survive that, I'm afraid. But if you were just doing a basic drop off the side or whatever, it's going to be fine. It's not going to have any issues. It's pretty rugged by the feels of things. I haven't done a drop test, don't get me wrong, but I'm fairly confident with, how it feels in the hand, it's not going to, fall apart, to say the least. But what we're all really interested in now is how does it actually sound? Well, I did a test, and here we are. This is me using the FIFINE K025 combined along with my Behringer UM2 amp. I've got the gain set to about 50% because if it was any higher, it picks up a lot of background noise, unfortunately. So as you can see, it sounds fairly decent, that microphone. There's one particular feature that I wanted to test, but due to restrictions, I couldn't, is the range test on it. FIFINE claims the microphone can do up to 80 feet. Now, my flat is definitely not that big. I may at some point do another upload at some point where I do a range test, but that won't probably be for a while. There's definitely one thing I'd recommend picking up for it though, is a pop filter. The reason being is when I was doing the initial tests on this microphone, it definitely likes to peak. Now, yes, I can control that through the gain on the audio interface, which I did, but it still peaked even when I was using certain words. So a pop filter fixed that straight away as soon as I put that on. Sadly, there isn't one in the box, which is one thing that I think they probably could have included, just because they did that with the K8. But at the same time, I can understand why they haven't, because it's aimed at being a budget, this microphone, to be honest. So, overall, what do I think of the microphone? Well, I quite like it, if I'm honest. There are a few things I'd like to change, though, specifically the wireless receiver in particular. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice compact size currently, but I think it could be smaller because it sounds fairly hollow. There's a bit of empty space in there from what I can tell. I could take it apart if I wanted to, but I don't really fancy that. But I suspect there's a lot of empty space that they could shave off, get rid of it, and also specifically, I'd like to get rid of this antenna. I think they could put an internal solution on that side of things. If they wanted to keep the mic antenna in there though, well, I think what they need to do is put a little groove around it so it makes it easier to get it in and out, because with people like me who have no nails, it's quite a challenge to say the least. As for the microphone itself, I can't really fault it. I'd like to maybe see it maybe a little bit smaller in profile, but again, I suspect it's mostly down to the wireless solution. Having said that though, when you look through the little display here, there is quite a depth to it, so there looks to be like some empty space in there as well, perhaps. I don't know what the limitations are on that front, but it's food for thought at the end of the day. However, with all that being said and done, do I like this microphone? Well, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's aimed at being a budget microphone, and it would be absolutely fantastic for karaoke, live events, conferences, and, given the fact that you've got a wireless solution that can go up to 80 feet, well, it's a bit of a no-brainer considering the price point of it as well. I'll include a link down to it as always, as well as also to FIFINE's website themselves if you guys are interested in picking one up. As always guys, I hope you enjoyed this experience, and if you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you've got any feedback or comments about my my style of things, please leave them in the comments below. I will read them and I will get back to you on that side of things. But in the meantime guys, I think that's it for now. Till then, bye!